Last time on Turbo Build, we prepped the Fastback ready for paint. And this time, we're painting it. G'day folks, and welcome again to Turbo Build. So as I mentioned, last time we got the roof all prepped and ready for paint. It's been sanded back, all the imperfections have been filled, and as you can see, it's looking a little sad. It really needs some love. So today we're going to give it a coat of paint. As with any paint job, the key to a great result is preparation. And of course we've done the first part of that by prepping the part, getting rid of the imperfections, sanding it smooth. However, we do need to give it a good clean. Get all the dust off it. Any dust could cause a potential issue with the paint, giving it a bit of a fisheye or an imperfection. So we've got to get the panel clean before we paint. So we'll throw a couple of coats down of primer onto both the boot and the Fastback itself. Now, I'm mixing a primer perfect for fiberglass and carbon fiber. This is going to give our paint something really nice to stick to, and it's going to fill in any of those last little scratch marks and give the part a good consistent colour for the paint to go over. Now, as you can probably tell, I'm definitely no professional painter. I'm just doing this at home in my makeshift paint booth. I am taking care to wear proper protection, face mask, eye mask. You really don't want to be breathing this stuff in. Before I put any primer onto the Fastback section, I'm going to run some tape around the window edges where I'll later be gluing down the window. This is because I'd rather not glue the window directly over paint. I'd rather glue it straight to the fiberglass. I feel like the glue will have a better hold than trying to glue to paint. We're just going to roughly throw some masking tape down to mask that off. And now with the primer done, the parts have got a great consistent colour. However, I'm going to leave them in the sun now to really cure well before we look at them further. Now, believe it or not, I wasn't 100% happy. There are a few more imperfections I'd found in the boot, so I've given it a good sand and bogged a few more areas. You can see here there's a few little marks along this edge. I'm not real happy. I'm going to give that a bit of a fill. And we're going to give the whole thing another sand and then another prime. It's, as you can see, very dusty. And it's much the same situation with the roof section itself. Again, I've sanded the whole thing, filled some of those last remaining little holes and imperfections that I'm not happy about. We'll get them filled and then hit it with one last coat of primer. The roof's all primed up and ready now. It's looking great. Next thing is, of course, to actually hit it with some paint. This is going to look cool. Let's see how we go. I'll get it into the booth, well, makeshift booth, and let's start putting some colour on. And the moment you've all been waiting for. Now, believe it or not, the paint doesn't match. So I've gone back to my paint guy and we got the paint code wrong or something. I don't know what happened exactly, but I think perhaps this car has actually been painted at some point, and the colour that it is a lot brighter and not as creamy as the factory paint code. So I've gone back to him, we've got a new can of paint that matches the body of the car, and we're going to respray it with a new layer of white. Not a real big disaster, because what it means is, well, now I've got an extra layer of paint on the roof, which isn't a bad thing. So I'm going to give everything a quick sand back before we hit it with another coat of paint. And I've got a little buddy to give me a hand. Okay, the roof's now been repainted with the new paint colour, and it's looking great. It's much closer match to the body of the car. Just got to give it some time to set, then we can get the roof on the car and see just how it looks. With the roof back on the car, it really blends in nicely. The colour match is much better. The lines are really flowing and they certainly accent the car well. Anyway folks, that's it for this video. As always, I really appreciate you sticking around. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already. You don't want to miss the next video on this, where we get the windows installed and the roof completed. It'll look something like this.